A lot of financial advisors play a game of hide and seek with their fees, and it's not a fun game for you. Find out how they do it coming up. Hey folks, I'm Patrick King with Transformative Financial. Here on this channel, we help people make money, keep money, and feel more financially secure about their future. If that's something that you're interested in, please give me a call, contact me. My email is patrick@transformative-financial.com. My contact information is in the show notes below. I'd love to talk with you and see if it's a good fit. But today, what I want to talk about is lots of financial advisors play a game of hide and seek with their fees. And it's not a very fun game for those advisors' clients along the way. The genesis of the idea for this video today came from a couple of folks that I was talking to this week who are working with another advisor, wanted a second opinion. So I reviewed their statements, and I do this for a living, and I had a hard time figuring out exactly how much they were being charged on a monthly, quarterly, or annual basis. The fees are sometimes buried in disclaimer language. I had to go onto the internet and try to figure out through the fine print how much they were being charged, and only at a best case scenario was like a range of fees, and sometimes it just wasn't even available at all. There's certainly nothing wrong with a financial advisor being paid for delivering value to a client. I certainly believe that I bring so much more than value than my fee to all my clients. But at least I'm transparent about it. Like I show my clients how much in dollars my fee is per year, because part of those fees are tax deductible in certain cases. So it's important to kind of know that and know exactly how much you're paying. And then of course too, I tell my clients, if you look at my quarterly fee and you don't think that I've delivered that amount of value, then certainly I haven't lived up to the promise of what I want to do, or at least double that value. I haven't lived up to the value that I want to bring to you, and you're certainly free to walk away at any time. There's no obligation, of course, to working with me. But I just think that it's funny. It's Easter just came and went, and if you've hidden Easter eggs before, I just remember when I was a kid, we dipped the paws Easter egg coloring, and actually had real eggs and hid them in the yard. Unfortunately, I do remember several months later being out with mom and dad while they were doing some yard work and found an egg hidden in one of the bushes in the front yard that had been out there for several weeks. And I just remember taking that thing and cracking it open, and it was just nasty and rotten. And hidden fees are a lot like a rotten Easter egg that was never found. They stink. Nobody wants them, and it's just a bad surprise to have. But anyway, all right. So just to give you a quick rundown of the ways that certain financial advisors can charge you fees. It can be an investment advisory fee. You could have separate account manager fees. You can have fees associated with buying and selling. So on both sides of the transaction, whether you buy or sell, you could get charged a fee. You could get charged mortality expenses if you're in an annuity, for instance. Oh my gosh. There's 12B1 fees that are part of the internal expenses of a mutual fund that go directly to the advisor. I think Wall Street's really kind of made a science of, first of all, hiding these things, and second of all, making it so dang confusing that the end consumers just give up and just say, oh, I guess he's a good advisor. He's going to look out for my best interest. It may not be the case. So what's fair, right? What's a fair fee? If you're $1 million and over, maybe around the 1% range, maybe less, depending if you have more assets than that. Under $1 million, I would say the 1.25% to 1.5% per year range, and then there'll be internal expenses associated with the investments. So for me, I've minimized those as much as possible. Those don't go to me; those go to the people who run the strategies that I put into the portfolio, and so I've reduced those as much as possible because that's what I put my money into too. So I want to save my money for me as well. So what's good for me is good for my clients. So yeah, if you don't know what you're paying your advisor, probably a good idea to ask. Ask how they're getting paid, how much it is, and all the different ways that fees are being taken out of the accounts for not just them, but for maybe a strategy manager or a mutual fund or an ETF or whatever it is. And last of all, the thing that kind of makes me cringe the most is when I talk to people and they say, "Oh yeah, I've got a guy, but he doesn't charge me anything." No. Chances are they're paying the most, and they're hidden. Those fees are hidden. So that just makes me cringe every time. Fortunately, more and more people are kind of waking up to how this game is played, and yeah, that's why independent advisors like me are tending to grow more and more as a percentage of the financial advisors in this industry because of all the transparency around the fees and just plain we're cheaper too. Usually what I find is compared to a brokerage firm, I'm probably 1% per year cheaper on average is what I've seen a lot of times. And so for a client that's over $1 million, that's a savings of over 10 grand a year. 10 grand a year. So 10 grand a year compounded over 30 years is over $1 million. So why wouldn't you want that? Especially if you're getting things like financial planning, help with your estate planning, someone to review your property insurance, your life insurance, your disability insurance, long-term care, all that stuff, and help you put together a strategy. Oh, and be able to actually talk to you about taxes. A lot of those brokers don't do that, and they charge you more. So anyway, that's my rant for today. It was a little off script today, but I had this come up, and I thought this would be a great topic. If you've got questions, please hit me up. Contact information is below. Patrick@transformative-financial.com is my email. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, click like. Of course, subscribe. If you've ever watched a YouTube video before, subscribe. That always helps me and my videos, so I appreciate that. And until next time, cheers and talk soon.